Hi, this is Harlan Geisler from the San Diego Public Library, and I hope you've been enjoying all the stories that everyone has been reading you. Well, today I would like to tell you a story, which means no books in my hands, the story's in my head. It's a story you can find written down in library books, but it is a story that was first told person to person like I'm telling you. This story is called Lazy Jack. Now, why they called Jack lazy, I'm not quite sure. Might have been 'cause he lay around the house all day and he never helped his mama. Might have been that. But whatever reason it was, when Jack got older and his mama told him to get a job, why, that boy got up. He went out that door, he found a place to work that very day, and he worked hard. So I don't know why they called him lazy. Why, he worked so hard for that farmer that at the end of the day, the farmer gave Jack a solid gold coin. Jack had never had no money of his own, and he put that gold in his hand, and he looked at it far off, and he looked at it near up, and he started off for home with that money in his hand. And he was thinking so hard about what he was going to tell his mama that he forgot about that gold. Put his hand down natural like by his side, and that coin went dropping out, went rolling off into some bushes. Jack didn't even notice. He went running home, went running into his mama's room, and he says, "Mama, Mama, look what I made today." And he puts out his hand. And his mama, she just looks at it. She says, "Well, you made yourself a dirty hand, and the least you could have done was washed it." Well, Jack, he pulled his hand back in. He starts looking all around. He says, "No, Mama, no, Mama. I was working real hard for the farmer, and at the end of the day, the farmer gave me a gold coin, and I put it in my hand to carry home, and I must have dropped it, Mama." And his mama, she just looks at him. She says, "Jack, you blockhead. If somebody gives you money, you don't carry it in your hand. You put it way down deep in your pocket, give your pocket a good firm pat to make sure it's there, and then you bring it home." "Oh," says Jack, "next time I'll know what to do." And the next day, Jack worked for a chicken farmer. And all that day, he took the hens out, he made sure they got their feed, he cleaned out the nests. And at the end of the day, the chicken farmer was so pleased that he gave Jack 3 large eggs to take home. And Jack knew what to do. He put them eggs way down deep in his pocket, gave his pocket a good firm pat. Then he had to walk home holding his pants away from his side. His mama took one look and she says, "Jack, you numbskull, if somebody gives you some eggs, you don't put them in your pocket. You get yourself a basket, line it with some straw, put the eggs inside, and then cover them over good and tight with some rags so they won't bump into each other and break." "Oh," says Jack, "next time I'll know what to do." And the next day, Jack worked for a baker. All that day he helped her knead the dough, shape it into loaves, put them in the oven, take the bread out. And at the end of the day, that baker was so pleased that she gave Jack a pretty little cat. Oh, it was so soft. And Jack knew what to do. He got himself that basket, lined it with straw, But he had a heck of a time getting that cat to stay down in there. Well, he covered it over good and tight with some rags. That poor cat, it near suffocated. And when Jack took that basket home, took them rags off to show his mama, that cat went choom up and out that window, and they never saw it again. Jack's mama, she looks at him and she says, "Jack, you dunderhead. If somebody gives you a nice little cat, you take a long piece of string, tie one end around the cat's neck, not too tight. Put the cat down, take the other end of the string, and you lead it home that way." "Oh," says Jack, "next time I'll know what to do." And the next day, Jack worked for a butcher. Oh, that's the person at the supermarket that chops up the meat and puts them in them little plastic packages. And all that day, Jack helped him chop up the beef. And at the end of the day, that butcher was so pleased that he gave Jack a big piece of meat. And Jack knew what to do. Oh, he did. He got himself a long piece of string. You saw this coming, didn't you? Yeah. Tied one end around the beef, not too tight. Put the meat down, took the other end of that string, and he started leading it home that way. The dogs in the town got one whiff, and they started yapping at his heels and biting at that meat. Jack, he was dragging it through the mud and the muck, and whew, by the time he got it home, no self-respecting dog would have taken another bite. Well, Jack's mama, she just looks. She says, "Jack, you nincompoop. If somebody gives you a good piece of beef, take some wax paper, put it on your shoulder, put the meat on the paper, and that way the dogs can't get at it." "Oh," says Jack, "next time I'll know what to do." And the next day, Jack worked for a cattle rancher. All that day, he took the cows out to the pasture, brought them back to the barn, and at the end of that day, that cattle rancher was so pleased. Well, it's a good thing he didn't give him a bull, but he did give him a calf. And Jack got that piece of wax paper, put it up on his shoulder, grabbed a hold of that baby cow, got up upside down on his shoulder, and started carrying it through the town. Now, this being a fairy tale, he just natural-like had to carry that calf past the house of the richest man in the town, who had a daughter who was under a magic spell. She had never laughed in her life. Her parents had tried everything, and finally they put a sign in the town square that read, "Whoever can make our daughter laugh will get half of our riches, and if the girl is willing, can marry her." And there went Jack with that calf on his shoulder. And that girl happened to take a look out the window and took another look. And one corner of her mouth started to twitch. And then the other corner, and then she giggled. And then she chuckled. And then she twirled. And then she laughed. Well, her parents came running in, took one look at their daughter, one look out that window, went running down there, grabbed a hold of Jack, brought him in the house, calf and all. Told him he had just won half of their riches. Now, some of the adults who are listening to this may have friends about whom they've always wondered what it was they saw in their husbands. Enough said. Well, I reckon that this rich man's daughter's friends wondered much the same thing. 'Cause she married Jack, but you just had to be there. A good man is one who can make you laugh. And Jack, he and that princess, 'cause she was, you know, a rich man's princess. They lived happily ever after. And I hope that you live just as happily, and I will see you again next time.